What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Live Hunting. I'm super excited about this one. I got some incredible finds. I didn't think would happen, and they did. So you get to see that here. And I will say, if you haven't already, check out that Discord server I started up. It's insane how many people we got there, how many people keep showing up. It's a great place if you wanted to show off some of your pickups, show off your game room, if you want to talk about retro gaming, if you had questions on selling, whether it's eBay, Amazon. It's a good place to do it. Plus, you can reach out directly to me from there. So I'll leave a link to it in the description, as well as probably a pinned comment. But anyways, without further ado, sit back and relax. Let's shekel up. Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode, and of course you gotta let me know in the comments some of the things that you found recently. I always love scrolling through them and just seeing all the finds that are still being found today. So let's go ahead and kick things off here with a Facebook Marketplace pickup. This guy had this listing up for, I want to say, maybe a little over a week. He had it at a high price too. He would gradually lower and lower the price until finally I just sent him an offer. I said, hey man, would you take $50 for this box? He took it, so here we are meeting up for it. This was a pretty nice lot, some really nice box games, the system, and it had 2 controllers with it. Now you may be thinking to yourself, this is pretty high price to pay for just a 5200. Well, in working condition, these things can sell for quite a bit. Unfortunately, this one was not working. It had some problems. It would cut on and off, but I already did sell it for 25 bucks plus shipping on top of that. So I got majority of the cost back already. Plus, we got 2 controllers, all the box games, and then the power pack, the official Atari power pack that came with the system. This thing is an absolute unit of a power pack, and that thing alone is almost worth half the cost of everything that I paid here. So this was a very nice pickup. You got to learn to break things down sometimes. It's not always the wisest thing to sell everything in a lot. Sometimes it's extremely profitable to break everything down and sell everything individually. Now, sure, it would have been easier to sell everything as one lot and make a little bit extra on top of that from what I paid and have a little profit. But for me, breaking everything down, cords, controllers, the system, the games, I'll stand to make quite a bit more than had I not. It's just a little bit more work, but it's extremely worth it for things like this. So this next pickup is at a pawn shop that I haven't been to in quite some time. They used to take every single game, regardless of what it was, and put it behind the counter. So the only way to see it was to ask someone to pull it out individually, and then you couldn't see the prices or anything, so it was usually just a waste of time. But luckily, they put all the older stuff back out on the floor, minus cartridge-based stuff, and I was extremely happy to finally see this. Now, these first few pickups here, they're nothing crazy. There's some PlayStation 1 long box games, and they're just sports games. You see Slam Jim here. I'm trying to fiddle with and get inside, but they taped it up. I'm sure they were nervous about someone taking it, but that's okay. They had $1.99 on these price games, or price for these games right here. And you'll notice that they have a sign that says, buy so many, get them for this price or whatever it is. And usually that's a great deal if it's not picked through. This side looked to be like it was. I didn't find anything else special. But to find these 2 PlayStation 1 long box games is awesome. I love to collect long box games. It's just something about holding them. They're massive. They feel like you're holding something. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe some of y'all out there can relate to what I'm talking about. So they had a $1.99 price tag on both of these. If you don't know already, a pawn shop will work with you. If you go up to them with a smile on your face and you're a kind person, believe it or not, they're usually kind people as well. And I got both of them for $1 a piece. Now you're going to see me pull out my phone right here, and all I'm doing is just checking up pricing. I may have saw a game out the corner of my eye. And this app that I'm using on my phone is called Video Game Price Charts. I got it in the Google Play Store. I don't know if Apple has something similar. It gives you a rough estimate on pricing for games. It'll give you the loose amount, the complete amount, and a brand new amount. And it's just from sold listings on eBay. It's not entirely accurate, but it is very handy when you're out and about and you just don't know off the top of your head and you want to have something to check. So moving around to the back, you see me put this one game up. It was far too scratched for me to pick up. I wouldn't have been able to resurface it if I did. But I do come across Guitar Hero 5 for the PlayStation 2. Just like the Guitar Hero Metallica and a few others, this one was definitely worth picking up. You can get somewhere between $15 to $18 for it, and the disc on this one was in really nice shape. Aside from a few minor scuffs, I'm very happy about this pickup. So to get all three of these games for a little under $4, I was extremely happy about that, and I'll definitely be stopping back by now that they got the games back out on the floor where they need to be. Now this next pickup right here is a prime example of why you should always inspect everything you get before you actually pay the person. This person posted on LetGo, they had a few different lots, and as you can see, we got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 here for the PlayStation 2. It's a pretty high-end game right here. This one was going to cost me $30, so I wanted to make sure this thing was in really nice shape, and as you can see, this game's scratched all to hell, so there's no way that I'm going to pick this up. If I can put my finger in a scratch, which you see there, it's beyond gone. There's a chance I could resurface it, I can sand it down, but I'm going to pass on it. It's too high end of a game for me to risk. $30 is just a little bit too much for that. But these other two games, these were in very nice condition right here, at least for what they were. This Darkstalkers had a few scratches, but the Fear Effect was in very nice condition. But always check out the stuff before you buy it. Just don't hand them the money and go out on your way. He said that the disc played and it worked great, but at that price, I'm just not going to risk it. I told him there was a chance that I wasn't going to buy it anyways when he said that it had a handful of scratches, but I wanted to inspect it while I was there because there is people out there that say, you know, it's scratched all to hell, and you look at it and it's really not bad at all. Now, with this Fear Effect, I'm also looking in here because you want to look on the front of one of these big clamshell cases and see how many discs is supposed to be in there. I thought Fear Effect had 3, but when I looked back on the front, it said that it had 4, so I'm going to look through this whole case and make sure that all 4 discs are in there, especially after seeing that Marvel vs. Capcom. This guy was awesome. I mean, it could have played. He's not trying to get one over on me, but had I gave him the money, went home, and then seen that that game wasn't worth a damn and wasn't going to play at all, I would have been pretty gypped on that one. But we settled on $15 for the 2 other games of Darkstalkers. Didn't have the original case, but it did have the manual, which I'll sell. I don't really collect loose disc PlayStation 1 games, but I do finally get Fear Effect 1 for my collection. I've been looking for that one for quite some time. So to this guy out there, thank you for the deal, but I had to pass on that Marvel vs. Capcom. To everybody else out there, check out the things before you buy it. Don't hand them the money without looking things over. Don't be a dick about it. Just say, hey, do you mind if I check these things out? And you'd be surprised what you may see. Next stop, I'm here at this thrift store. I don't normally go to that often. It's not on my side of town. But since I was over there this time, of course, I'm going to stop, and I'm glad I did on this one. I get 2 pretty nice scores right here. Well, one nice score. You may consider this one not so nice. This is Grease, the game for the Wii, and some of my longtime viewers will know I got this terrible obsession with really bad Wii games. I don't know what it is. That system has so much shovelware on it. It's unreal. And anytime I see one out there for a nice price, I usually pick it up. That one was only $1.99. Probably all that game's worth, but I had to pick it up. This pickup, however, is the really nice one. It's not gaming related, but every now and then I like to show you some of the other things that I pick up, because as a lot of you know, I am a reseller. Anything that I can turn a dime on, I'm going to pick up. So if you don't know already, if you have the eBay app on your phone, you can pull it up and you can actually scan barcodes directly. In thrift stores, pawn shops, this doesn't bother me at all. These people are out to make money just like I am. If I'm at a yard sale or something, I definitely don't do it. I consider it, extremely rude. But here, doesn't bother me one bit. And as you can see from the app, it's showing that some people are listing these things for anywhere from 40 to 70 bucks, maybe even more. Now that's listing prices. That's not necessarily what they're going to get for these things. But it gives me a general idea of if this is going to be worth it. And at $1.99, it's definitely worth the risk. If I can get 20 bucks out of this, I'll be happy about it. A lot of people ask me if I hunt for movies, and the short answer to that is no. I don't really go after them at all. There's a handful of them that I know off the top of my head that are worth some money, and I'll do a brief scan over top of them, but I'm not the type of person to go through every single one in search of that out-of-print movie. There are some amazing people out there, just like us in the game hunting community. There's people out there that movie hunt. There's one YouTuber I saw a long time ago, and he still makes these videos today called Cool Duder, if I'm not mistaken. Coolduder. He movie hunts, and that guy is a genius when it comes to finding things that you just had no idea were out there. And he would be a good place to check if you wanted some more info on what to find when you're out hunting for movies directly. So here we are at my favorite stop for this episode. It's going to be a Goodwill of all places. I stop by, Goodwill's much like every other hunter pretty often, and this one was just a really nice score for the fact that it's at a Goodwill. I never have good luck in And as you can see here, right off the bat, we got Wii Sports. I always tell you guys to pick this one up. It's fairly scratched, but it wasn't bad enough to where I don't think I can't resurface it. What really made it nice is it's in the uncommon Wii Sports case. As a lot of you know, it only really came out in a cardboard sleeve that was a pack-in for the system. To buy this separately was, not as common as you would think. So when you're at yard sales or flea markets and you see a Wii system bundle, it's almost guaranteed that it's going to have a copy of Wii Sports with it. If not that, it's going to have a copy of New Super Mario Bros. Usually inside the Wii, and it's a nice surprise when you cut it on to see if it's working and you hit eject. But pick it up with the cardboard sleeve and the manual, you can get $12, $15 for it easily. If you can find it with the case that I got, you can get a little bit more. It's definitely worth being on the lookout for it, and you see it all the time. So while moving through this Goodwill, just walking past, because I'm going to look through everything in the store, check this out. A huge bag with a Wii system. How about that? And it's got a loose copy of Wii Sports. Oh, it hurt my feelings to see that in there just shaking around. I did want to open this up just to kind of see everything that was in there. When I see these controllers upside down, I think to myself, awesome, Wii Motion Plus. But I want to check them and make sure that they're not generic Nyko knockoffs, because, obviously the Wii Motion Plus controllers are going to fetch quite a bit more than, a standard knockoff. And of course they were. This was listed at $30 that they had it in the store. One was, I believe 2 were missing their backs, but it was still very nice for $30. God, it hurt me to see that Wii Sports Resort in there like that. But I can't exactly walk around with it in my hand in this store, because they probably say, you got to buy that separately. It's not part of this bundle. And it doesn't look that bad. I could probably resurface it. I haven't, checked it out yet to see if it is working, but I'm sure it might be okay, or at least hopefully. But for $30 for this Wii system, and there could be that surprise Mario in there, who knows, and the Wii Motion Plus controllers, that's an excellent pickup right there. So moving around the corner from that Wii pickup, I come across this Catchphrase handheld game. I see these things all the time at yard sales. It has 2 different price tags on there, $1 and $3.50 on there. What was weird is when I flipped it over the second time, the price tag just falls off, but the $1 price tag was what I paid anyways. That's the max that I can pay for these things. I only sell them somewhere between $9 and $11 depending on which one I have, and I probably sold a couple dozens of these things. Be on the lookout for little handheld games. You'd be surprised on how quick they can go for, and they're not the most extreme amounts of profit, obviously, but that little bit of profit adds up over time, and they're easy to list. Now we're moving on to the very awesome pickup at Goodwill here, and here lately I have turned the audio back on for my spy glasses. That way I can pick up people talking. I still want to keep it narration for the most part, but I'm sure there'll be things throughout this season that I want you guys to hear. And this being one of them right here. This is 2 workers over here putting things up. I could be rude and go over there and say, hey, let me look inside this case, or I can be very kind, hospitable, make them laugh, and you'll see just exactly how it turns out. Always understand, at any point they could have simply said, no, wait until we're done, and then someone else could have came up and got this stuff before me. Ma'am, I don't mean to be rude, but can I check those games out real fast?
Do what?
Is it alright if I check those? I'm sorry, I wanted to give y'all time, but...
You jump in there. Don't you be bashful.
Thank you so much.
It's me. If you learn who me is, you will just say, Lisa, I need a look.
Alright.
That's what everybody's like,
And I wasn't trying to be in the way. Anytime you want.
Don't be in the way now.
See, now he's learned. He just come over here and goes, Lisa, I need a look and see what you got.
Absolutely.
See, that's happened. Oh, yeah.
These are what I like to collect now.
Oh, good. Cheap prices?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like them.
You saw that, didn't you?
No, I know you got good hands.
I know it.
You kidding? You're a gamer?
Yeah.
So you're talking about good hands.
You see who I married now? I had to snatch her up. I had to have good hands to do it, so.
See?
Exactly. My brownie points went out the door.
You'll have to say it again.
I can't remember. We're missing one.
Missing one what?
But see, I think
Of the
it says-
set?
Yeah. I think you wrote it down. But one of them's got cards in it. Oh my God, they're super nice.
Yeah, you tempting me here now is what it is.
Those are amazing. I've never seen them in that good a condition before.
Okay, I was gonna say she had some other stuff. She must have took it. Yeah, oh, you're kidding me now. You're trying to be a salesman. So as you heard her say, these things are in immaculate condition. $30 for that entire stack of Nintendo Powers. These are all N64 editions too. The one even had the special Mewtwo card. Inside of it, all the posters were still there. It was in very nice shape. And also, all these N64 games, they were somewhat individually priced. You know, they had, the higher end titles. Both Zeldas were priced at $8, but $8 for the holographic Zelda Majora's Mask, and then you had the standard Ocarina of Time. That's an excellent pickup. Couple that with Donkey Kong and the other ones that I picked up. This was a phenomenal pickup here at Goodwill. So that's why I wanted you people to hear that, just how I portray myself out there. I don't like to come off as a rude person. I'm always very genuine. I like to be very respectful. And you'll find so many times that you will definitely, get more flies with honey than you will with a terrible attitude. At any point, had I been rude, they could have said, you got to wait until we're done. They could have just stood there until I left. Someone else could have came in and swooped the deal. But they didn't. They were very nice and awesome to talk to. As a hunter, we got to act respectful to ourselves and to other people. But that's all I got for this episode, people. I hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.